High-ranking officials in the Afghan government are reporting today that a top Taliban leader, in fact, the leader of the Taliban, named Mullah Omar, is dead. Now, not only that, apparently he's been dead for about 2 years, and he died of tuberculosis. So there were rumors that he's been dead all along, but up until this point, they were only rumors. Now we have what the U.S. government and different press outlets are considering verification from people who they know would know. They're saying, yeah, he's dead, and he's been dead for a while. So understand that this was the guy who was responsible for giving refuge to Al-Qaeda after 9/11. So Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda basically hid out in with the Taliban, I think at times in Afghanistan, at times in Pakistan, but they were basically taken in by the Taliban. And here's the main point of the story from my perspective, because, light bulbs went off as I'm reading the articles on this. I went, oh, wait, okay, stop and think about it. Mission accomplished, right? Now, I'm saying that not because I'm arbitrarily declaring that we can say, hey, we were victorious and we should leave. I'm saying that because this is kind of what they said originally. This is what the U.S. government said originally when they launched these different wars. So, by the way, even adding Iraq into the conversation here, they said, he's responsible for 9/11. Well, he wasn't responsible for 9/11. They said, he had WMDs. He didn't have WMDs. Then they just moved the goalpost to, Saddam Hussein is a bad guy. There are a lot of bad guys. It doesn't mean you should fight a war against every bad guy. We'd be fighting in 100 different countries. But either way, so let's accept their final reasoning, which was, he's a bad guy, let's get rid of him. Okay. He's been dead for a while now. Mission accomplished. So in Iraq, get the fuck out. Unless you're just admitting, hey, we're moving the goalposts and we've done it 4 or 5 times, and every time we're just going to come up with a new bullshit excuse to stay there. But if you're going to stay there the entire time, what's that called? It's called an occupation. It's called you're being an imperialist nation. It's not like you're not getting anything out of it. I've given you guys the reports. I've told you the increase in oil production since we went in there, and now that we're staying there. So we're still in Iraq. We're back in Iraq. We may have left briefly, but still had a few thousand troops there, so we didn't even really leave. But, okay, we're back in there. So the original reports as to why we went in there, all 4 or 5 of the different rationales, you're admitting that it was bullshit. You're admitting, yes, no, it was bullshit. We said we want to get Saddam Hussein, we got him, and then we stayed there anyway. Shouldn't it be on the day you got Saddam Hussein, you go, all right, we're done here, let's go home. Well done, everybody. But you didn't do that. Why? Maybe it's not really about that. I know, crazy idea. How about in Afghanistan? Now, originally they said what? It's just about Al-Qaeda. We're going into Afghanistan specifically to get revenge for 9/11 and what happened to us. You could view this as a defensive action to go in there to make sure that Al-Qaeda cannot and does not do this ever again. Seems reasonable at face value. Well, mission accomplished. Now understand, not only did we get Osama bin Laden, even before we got Osama bin Laden, there were reports from our own CIA which said that it was maximum 100 Al-Qaeda operatives left in Afghanistan. This is in the mid-2000s. So you're telling me you don't declare mission accomplished at that and then you leave? There's more KKK operatives in the United States than Al-Qaeda operatives in Afghanistan. There's 100 of them, and you didn't, declare victory and leave? Well, okay, then you waited until you got bin Laden, and you got bin Laden. And then what happened? Did you leave? You still didn't leave. You still stayed there. We're still there right now in Afghanistan. We're still there right now. And then what did they say? They moved the goalposts again. Yeah, I know we said it was Al-Qaeda who we're getting and we're fighting back for 9/11, but also the Taliban was housing Al-Qaeda, and we're really pissed off about that, and they're also Muslim radicals, so let's just get their leader, and then we're good. Ding, ding, ding. We got him. Mullah Omar, dead, gone. Let's go. That's it. Let's fly the fucking banner. Play some patriotic music. Let's get the fuck out of there. Unless it was never really about any of this stuff. And you've been lying to us all along. Now, that's the point I'm trying to make, man. It's not even that, hey, you're a conspiracy theorist if you say that the wars weren't purely about what they said it was about. Because they're admitting it with their actions. It's not like along with this announcement that bin Laden's dead, Saddam's dead, and the leader of the Taliban is dead. The leader of all three people who we said were enemies are dead. It's not like along with that announcement they said, that's it, we're coming home. We achieved the goals that we said we wanted to achieve. No! They just will continue to move the goalposts more and more. And now in Iraq and in Syria, they say, oh, it's ISIS, which is the problem. But they don't tell you the reason why ISIS exists in the first place. It exists in the first place because in 2003, the U.S. went into Iraq, we de-Baathified the government, which means we got rid of the Sunni Baathists and fired all Saddam's generals and all of his people. So then the entire Sunni population was pissed off. You put in Maliki, a Shia, who repressed the Sunnis, and then what happened? They got further radicalized, and then you had Muslim fundamentalist Sunnis, the Salafists, team up with the former Baathists, and they started taking over swaths of territory, and that's ISIS. And they also couldn't have had the territorial success that they did have if it wasn't for Saddam's former Baathist generals teaming up with ISIS. Because I got news for you, the religious lunatic fundamentalists are not that bright. If they were, they wouldn't be religious lunatic fundamentalists. You know who needed to come up with the strategy to take more territory? The Baathists! The more secular Sunnis. Saddam's former generals who know how to fight and know strategy and know the territory. So if you didn't de-Baathify the government, they would have never came together, and the religious radicals would have been as ineffectual as other jihadist groups that you've probably never even fucking heard of, and they have no, grand plan or success because they're not smart enough to launch a plan. So, I mean, what's amazing is that they keep moving the goalposts, and nobody calls them out. You're listening to this show, I'm calling them out. Tell me if you see any other outlets call them out, where they say they met every goal they said was a goal. They met every goal they said was a goal, and they're still there. Why are they still there? Because they're not telling us the real motivations. Now, understand, I don't go full Alex Jones and say, like, hey, the people running the government are lizard people or whatever. I don't even think he believes that, but they're evil people who are part of this grand conspiracy who, they want to have new world order, one world government, and they're going to oppress us all. No, it's not a formal conspiracy. It's just that when like interests converge, you don't need a formal conspiracy. It's just that the interests in and of themselves push people or incentivize people to act a certain way. So I don't deny that the overwhelming majority of people in the federal government and even in the military-industrial complex and in the Pentagon, the leaders, I think that they think they're doing what's right. I think that they think in their minds, oh, we are protecting the civilized world. We're protecting the modern world. We are upholding the proper values. We are acting in a just way. And it just so happens that along with that mentality, they think, well, I mean, we are in Afghanistan protecting them. We may as well, be involved in that opium trade. We may as well be involved with the tremendous mineral wealth that they have. In Iraq, hey, we're here. I mean, the oil's right there, and we're here. We might as well just, while we're here protecting civilization, we might as well just, it's right there. We could just take a little bit of it. We could, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we're doing the right thing anyway. To the victor go the spoils. Am I wrong, huh? So I think it's a mix of things. I think they have the traditional imperialist mindset of every empire always thinks they're the good guys. Of course they do. But every empire's dead wrong. You're not the good guys, you're the aggressors. But they think they're the good guys, and then along with that, in their mind, they think it's justified to start exploiting people, taking natural resources, propping up governments that are dictatorial because they think that government would be better than any other kind of government that the people there would want, and the list goes on and on. So it's a mix of factors. But what's clear, what's utterly apparent, is that what they said was the reason is not the pure reason. They said it was to get Al-Qaeda, you got Al-Qaeda. They said it was to get Osama bin Laden, you got Osama bin Laden. They said it was to get the Taliban and Mullah Omar, you got him. Now what? Now what? Now what? You got Saddam, you got Osama bin Laden, you got Mullah Omar, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and the head of Iraq. All these people, we need to get them and then we're done. Well, you did it and now you're not done. So don't come to me with this bullshit about how, oh, America only goes around the world as the world policeman and we protect everybody and we're defensive and we care about freedom and democracy. My ass you do. Because you don't even stay true to your word when you say we're going to do X, Y, and Z. You did X, Y, and Z, and you're not even considering, I haven't seen a single article today say, okay, we're coming home. Because it's not about that. It was never about that.